It's round 2 of the Endurance Championship Series. Welcome to K1 Speed Canton. My name is James, alongside Jason Gajewski, which I will say the correct name.
The correct pronunciation.
Hi guys, how are you guys? We appreciate you following along as always. Welcome to another Sunday night. I'm going to cut away real quick to this camera right here.
What do we got going on?
And that is the outdoor track.
Ooh, we are outdoor tonight.
It is
all right.
Beautiful evening here in Canton, Ohio.
Yeah, 80 some degrees today.
It feels like it's about 90.
I know, you can't beat it.
It
just had to run downstairs. You just got done with the driver's meeting. Another two new people. So
perfect.
I feel like that's fantastic.
And our hearts go out to the Fergusons tonight. We heard that there was a death in the family. Sorry that to hear that, but obviously won't be with us today. So our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. So
definitely.
Hopefully you can come back and join us again. But obviously family is way more important tonight. So
yeah.
So like we said, it's round 2. We're doing back-to-back weekends. We'll follow along as the chat as always. And
the chat's been really good.
I love it.
Yeah. It's a great way to interact with people.
It is.
And we found out people watch across the country to watch their family. And last week we had another K1 location check-in. And hey, wait, we got to do something. Last week, what happened?
A lot of things.
A lot of things. Towards the end of the race, we thought that Marshall's here tonight. So yeah. Marshall is going to run this series. We kind of misspoke, thought that he was just dipping out because he wasn't going to make the whole series. And
that wasn't the case.
No.
Yeah. So the story goes, he thought because the checkered flag was under the arm of the track marshal that he thought that was on display, and it obviously wasn't. It was the white flag was on display, so a little bit of confusion there. But the interesting thing is, and we spent a lot of time on this week, we just talked about it in the driver's meeting, and I could feel Rachel's disappointment because unfortunately we're not going to score her as the winner because Marshall was a full lap on the field. Mm-hmm. After the checkered flag came around, everybody else in competition was allowed to complete their final lap, and he was still scored first with 71 laps on the board, even though he was in the pit.
Oh, so you even changed it from when we talked about it. Okay.
So, yeah, he will be scored. I watched the footage over and over again, and we watched when two things that were really clear. So there was confusion about the second white flag, but two things were really clear. Expiration of time and white flag being displayed. Well, at that point, every driver knows there's one lap to go. So whether there was a confusion or about the second white flag or not doesn't change too much other than the fact that we made a mistake. Mm-hmm. So we have to chalk it up to that as far as marshalling goes. And at that point, I watched to make sure everybody else circled around the track. And when they completed their 71st lap, Marshall was still the first one to hit 71 laps. So
gotcha. And because we don't have to worry about carts dying anymore on track, it's like if your cart died with 2 laps to go, you were 2 laps up and you stopped on track and you didn't really finish the race. So we were racing all the way through, which is kind of nice with the new batteries. We don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So
hopefully.
Yeah. Now that I said it, right?
Right.
But no, that's really good. That's kind of what we saw in the replay. I'm sure if you guys went back and saw that, it was pretty clear what happened.
I hate to break the news to Rachel, but there were too many other factors that led into Marshall being the winner that we couldn't look past those and say that she was still a lap on the field.
He was a full lap up. And
yeah, if he wasn't a full lap on the field, if he wasn't on 71 laps,
then it would have mattered.
It would have changed everything.
Right.
And so technically you don't have to take the checkered flag.
No.
In racing. So
not if it's this kind of racing, no.
Yeah. PF Racing 03. Hello. This is my local K1 track.
Sweet.
Let's go.
Bomb the chat. So what's happened to trackside? Everybody getting in their carts, getting ready to go. So this is first of 2 qualifiers, correct?
It is.
Okay.
We have a field of 20 tonight.
Nice.
Possibly 19. I'm not sure. Maybe 20. Actually, yeah, I think we will be 20. So we should be split 2 heats of 10. And we have outdoor open, so it's a lot easier to get clean track space. So 10 cars on track, not a problem.
I wonder how many of these people haven't driven the outdoor yet.
I think a lot.
Really?
I think so.
The outdoor configuration's awesome here.
Yeah, some of the regular drivers we know have been practicing throughout the week, but I think some of the new ones. The interesting thing is, and I haven't done this much myself, is going to be coming indoors from the outside into the pits.
Yeah.
It's an immediate left-hander as soon as you cross that door. And I know as soon as I drove that for the very first time to test, I don't know, my brain was playing tricks on me, and I couldn't wrap my head around like turning left that quickly. Mm-hmm. So hopefully everybody adapts better than I did.
Maybe at some point we put cones on the left-hand side of that track, just a cart width. of like, because most the driving line is to the right of that. So obviously, if you're pulling that far to the wall, that would be I'm going to the pit. You know what I mean?
Hopefully.
But we'll see. We'll
But
see kind of what happens.
It does make an abrupt left-hand turn.
It
So
does.
I'm interested to see. I don't expect anybody to be like all the way on the right-hand side and then like cut all the way across the track.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully. If they do, the better have their hands up in the air and be like, hey, I'm pitting. But
Yeah. And again, for the people that are new on this, we're going to run through the practice of the pits. You know, go out for your qualifier and then come back and run through the pits and then go back out. So
Exactly.
it's good practice for everybody. There's Katie Wise. I recognize her. Who we got? Who's in this qualifier?
let's see if we got the race.
All right.
Giovanni, Tristan,
Of course.
Katie. We just talked about her. Cy Linderman's back. Where was he in the 21? There, we just passed the 31 of Jeremiah. And some of the names are kind of cut short, but if they have that bracket R at the end, that means they're running rookie series. They're competing for rookie points tonight.
And we've got a lot of returning rookies this year. This season so far at least, which is really cool because if I was just starting out in this, I would definitely jump in the rookie series because you have people trying this out, but then you also have people that are going to take it seriously. So it's probably your best bet to be very competitive.
And there's a shot from outside. We're glad to finally have the outdoor track open. It's about 85 degrees here. The sun's shining. You'd almost think that this is like Florida or something.
It's beautiful. It's a summer day in Ohio, feels like, and it's still spring.
It is.
And I know if you've been a fan of the channel for a long time, we've been working on our onboards quite a bit. Here's one to speak of with Dave Flory. It's a challenge. If you watch like MotoGP or any of the Formula stuff, the onboards are like crystal clear and everything. That's like really proprietary, very hard to do. And we've been working a lot. I know stopped in this week, saw James working with our friends over at Ability Business there. Big thank you to Wes. Working on onboards, looking at kind of drone stuff.
Yeah.
So
we've been trying, as you can see, like it's very difficult to get the cars in and outside. We'll see if they...
On the indoor track, it's not so bad.
No,
but
it's pretty easy, actually. But
the outdoor, it's I'm learning a lot of this, which is kind of fun because I can bring like the very bare bones learning to it. But James is like a mastermind with this stuff, and it's all about APs and all this other stuff, and the GoPros just don't do it well. But I'm really sure we're going to get this figured out. It's going to be awesome. We always try to push the limits here with what we do and give you guys the best footage we possibly can.
We'll just stick to onboard or on overhead shots for right now. As Giovanni is topping the scoreboard at a 40.2. Katie Wise close behind, 40.5, her best lap. If you see purple, that is the fastest lap of the race.
And being the first indoor-outdoor race, you see that these times are in the 40s. So we add almost a third of the race, or a third of the distance of the indoor track to the outdoor track when we do it. So the times are that much longer. So anything 40 and sub 40 is an extremely fast time. I think the track record on the outdoor track right now is
38.7.
38.7.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
Okay, I'm going to guess Marshall Miller.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he come specifically to break that record?
Pretty much.
Yeah, go for it. But anything 40, around 40, and sub 40 is a good time. So even the rookies right now running 40s, 41s, they're going to be competitive.
Giovanni so close to breaking into those 39s. If you want to gauge, like we talk about in the indoor, we say sub 27s is pro time. Well, when you convert to outdoor, sub 41 is considered the same pro time.
Yeah, and you'll see, especially on this outdoor shot, this is a great shot outside that you'll see everybody takes a different line, and people are getting used to it. Probably the first time they've been on the outdoor track in a while, and it'll be a lot of fun for everybody to get the line down again. White flag flies. 1 lap to go. See if anybody can do a last lap burner here. Giovanni still in first place, followed by Brandon Kovac. And then third place, Tristan McNamara, I think is the last name. McCammon, got it. Thank you. All I saw was NCCAM. And then fourth.
Oh, as the bull is trying to give somebody some action there in the number 21.
It's qualifying. Speaking of Katie,
That's
Katie
Cy.
got knocked out there. Yeah.
Katie and Cy battling it out already.
Dane pops up to third. Rookie in third place with a 40.477. Good last lap.
Giovanni's last lap didn't really work out for him at a 45.7, so he doesn't improve. Let's see if anybody has a flyer lap as we check outside. looked like.
Ooh, that's not going to be a good lap.
As we got the Colin number 36. He rounds the inside. If we could switch over there to the right there.
Catch him coming through. What are they going to do?
Anybody have anything for Giovanni as a checkered flag flies?
Does not look like it.
Doesn't look like anybody moved. Nope, Giovanni doing his last round and everybody in their outlaps. You can see just how high speed you get on the outdoor track. It's one of the things we love about it is you get to stretch the legs of the cart. You got a group of 3 of them here coming in, hit the bump, and they round the inside. Now they're supposed to be practicing their pit stops here. Let's see if we can follow Giovanni. Let's see what this looks like here. This is the left. Oh, he just missed it. He did the same. That was the same thing I was talking about from the beginning. Is it kind of comes up on you quick?
Yes, it does, especially coming through.
This is
Katie missed it, and
Katie
she knows
missed it as well. Well, it's a good thing we're practicing it tonight then. Looks like Dave Flory picked it up. He's now cycling through. We'll give him another shot. Let's see. Tristan is trying to round the outside. There we go. Now we got somebody who dove in.
It does come up on you quick.
Adam was reminding them to keep their foot on the throttle as they enter the pit lane because the electronic system will slow you down. There we go. Now Katie's got the in to the pits. And let's see. I think Giovanni's got the go around one more time.
Yeah, he missed it a second time.
It's hard to see with the brightness of the outdoor coming into the dark inside. So
it's a good shot. Camera 2 has it where if you follow him through, you can kind of see him hook right through.
Yeah, let's see if he can follow and hook there. There we go.
I think he was practicing his line, trying to find the fastest way through it and just missed it the first 2 times.
That's probably it.
So Giovanni rounding out the first qualifier, 40.004, so very close to a 39, followed by Brandon Kovac and Dane in third with a 40.123. So they are separated, second and third are separated by a thousandth of a second. And everyone else rounding out top all the way down to the 10th place of Colin Gullett is 41.335. So everybody's still really competitive times for the outdoor track.
For sure. As Giovanni reaches down to feel the tire of his number 33 machine.
It's probably pretty warm.
We touched on this last week, but he is the K1 Speed Junior World Champion. He's going to carry that title for an entire year. So
huge. The kid's he's so nice. He's so humble about it.
Yeah.
He just, I mean, how old is he again?
He's 11.
11 years old to be a world champion of racing. And, you know, you can pick your sport, your discipline, anything like that. If you're able to say you're a world champion, that's really, really, really cool. So congratulations to him, big time. I can't wait to see what he does.
Well, I know one of the things he's going to do, and we got a preview of a clip of an interview he did with the K1 staff out in California, and I think they're going to release it publicly. And it's they said, "What are you going to do with all your prize money?" And one of the things is he's going to put it towards college, and then he's going to buy a Lego set. So
awesome,
and something with a sim too.
Oh, I'm sure he's a big sim racer.
Yeah. That's where he's gotten most of his experience, actually. So, should be a pretty quick turnaround time here. Most of the drivers in the second qualifier in their karts, ready to go.
Yeah, this will be. I see a lot of typical A-main drivers in this. There's what do we got? We got Rachel Hart. We've got PJ Mannypenny right in front of her. Haymaker and first 2. I can't tell by the back of their helmets yet, but we'll figure out who they are. Yeah, it looks like everybody getting ready to go. A couple final checks, and then we should be off. And it is a 5-lap qualifier. You get 2 of those here. So your best time out of either qualifier puts you in either A main or B main. And then it is off to the races for a 30-minute race for both A main and B main. And if you see the designated R's next to people's names, that is a rookie class designation. So that means you're trying the series out. You may not run in the A main top fastest of everybody, but you're out here to have a good time. Run 30 minutes in the fastest karts in Ohio, the longest lasting fastest karts, I would say, for indoor electric karting anywhere. But here are the rookie standings, speaking of.
Yep. So you get the same point structure as, that's not the right way to say it. You get points staggered through the field.
So is there a set points for first and then it drops down from there? So 20 points for first and then from down?
It's
or
25 on down, yeah.
Okay.
So Brandon finishes in positions that give him 20 points, but all the rookies are scored against each other. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, because they race with the pros, but they
also... PJ's waving. We have PJ waving to the camera now.
I've never seen that.
David Pons has been an influence on him.
Definitely.
Anyway, so we'll cover the rookie standings real quick here. These are people who either haven't run 3 of our endurance races yet, or they haven't competed in the 12 Hours of Canton yet. So they're basically green to endurance. Yeah, exactly. And we'll touch on the point standings for the final, the pro standings in just a few minutes here.
This will be a good qualifier. Now, are qualifiers totally random how they're picked, like the people that are in each qualifier?
We did it based upon K1RS points. And I didn't explain that last week, but if you've been to K1, you know that you get points every time you finish a race, and that's scored based upon how many people are in the race, how many, whether it's a Monday night, whether you get double points or not, but it's accumulated as a K1 racer score, and so that goes on your account here. So we pulled everybody with the highest K1RS in one qualifier, and then the lowest K1RS in another qualifier.
Gotcha. So that makes sense, because that way it actually is kind of nice to split it up like that, because then you have, the less experienced running with medium experience and the most experienced running with most experience, typically, unless you're here and you're just starting out and you have a ton of KRS points because you run a ton of races for whatever reason.
So we'll follow this group who's coming in the garages right now, and that is led by Mark Davis, who is the number 1 machine for qualifying. And behind him, I believe,
is
Jacob
Ryan and Alex Haymaker, I think is who that is, right?
Was it Jacob? 19?
Was it 19? No, 19
no, it's
Andrew. Yeah.
Jacob was wearing turquoise the other day, so I had me confused. But he wasn't leaning over like Jacob really does. So,
dang motorcycle riders.
So
Rachel Hart already cracking the 40s with a 39.839, followed by Marshall with a 39.94. Dominic jumps up there, too, with a 39.9.
Yeah, Alex is going to take the inside of Andy.
It's a qualifier, guys. Take your time. Spread yourselves out.
Got to get space when you can get it, right?
That's right.
Rachel jumping up to the top, 39.8 so far.
Everybody else cruising in the 40s, 41s, and a 42 with Andrew Finley down at the bottom there. All you got to do is find a guy that runs a good line. And Rachel already breaking her time down, 39.809. Marshall, 39.801. So top of the leaderboard. Dominic following Marshall, 39.705. So really good times.
Wow. Big jump for Dominic right there.
Really good times. It helps. It's like I said, there's Rachel Hart coming into the outdoor section. If you find someone that runs a little bit better of a line than you do, a little bit faster, and you can glue your bumper to theirs and follow them around the track, you're going to get a really good line out of that. It's the best way to learn. It's why I love endurance is you get 30 minutes of track time to get the most you can. As Rachel crosses the line here, let's see if she can jump up at all. Yes, she does. 39.5.
Wow. Laying it down here in qualifiers in round 2 of the Endurance Series. Those are some times that we don't frequently see on Arrive and Drive. That is for sure. Rachel's going to round the outside again and join up with this pack here where you got PJ and Andy.
So I'm going to throw a guess out because it is so hot today and we've got good drivers, 30 minutes of racing. I'm going to place an inside bet that we're going to see a 38 at some point during the mains today.
Ooh, that's really low.
I think so. I think a 38 is not out of the question. But
we always have to check up on this guy if we can catch his onboard, Marshall Miller. Let's see what he does as he goes across.
And And last lap, let's see if anybody's got an answer to Rachel's 39.5 at the top of the leaderboard. Dominic not far behind, 10th behind, and then Marshall a few tenths behind that. That is why you get 2 qualifiers, though. If you don't agree necessarily with your kart the whole way around, here's Alex Haymaker.
Yeah, and if you don't qualify very well, but you can still run race pace, then you've still got lots of time to try to pass people.
Oh, yeah. Best part about endurance is you have a long race to mess with, so you can really help out. Rachel does not best her time, a few thousandths off.
She doesn't improve it, but still 39.5.
Yeah, Marshall Miller, 39.573, so right behind her. Dominic, a 10th off, 39.678. There are a lot of 39s on this board, all the way down to Sean Horrigan right now. PJ Mannypenny, 40.145. And that'll do it. They will come in for their...
Rachel Hart, provisional pole sitter with a gap of .062 to Marshall Miller.
That is crazy.
In 5 laps time, these guys, the top 5, all reached sub 40-second lap times.
That's incredible.
Very impressive performance from these drivers tonight.
So everybody will cruise through the drive-through lane and do one more lap entering the pits. Now, I definitely want to catch the outdoor cam as they come around because I want to see how these guys, what line they choose once they get over there, how they choose to dive into the pits.
Dominic surprised. Even I have to think he's surprised with laying down at 39.6 that he's sitting third on the start list.
That is awesome.
Let's see. Jacob Ryan's outside. Let's see what happens. Will he catch that left-hander? That's a 90-degree left-hander.
Seems like everybody's navigated it so far pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. And let's follow with Dominic real quick. He's going to round the double S's outside. And he's going to dip into the pits for his practice as well. They're going to drive through, see what it feels like to reaccelerate the car, back out on track, and then dip back in again. Well, or did they already do that?
They already did. That was their lap. Yep.
So we're going to see where we mesh up here because the fastest qualifier from this first round was Giovanni, and he had a 40.004. That looks like that's going to slot him into the number 6 position, followed by Brandon Kovac, which is a 40.5. Compared to PJ, which is a 40.3. So where will PJ lock in here? 43.36. Doing math on a live stream. Always
I'll leave
dangerous.
that to you.
Looks like Clay is going to jump in there in front of PJ. So we'll let the track guys handle the starting order.
Math. Yeah.
So. I could be completely wrong. You never know. Jason's going to run down and handle some back office stuff for us. You can see up on the TV on the wall, you got 25-second timers. Those are for pit stops 1 and 2. When the drivers come in, the first driver to stop is going to trigger pit stop 1, and a second driver can be pit stop 2. If for some reason 3 drivers comes into the pits, you have to wait for one of the times to expire before we reset the clock for you. So basically limiting the pit lane to 2 drivers at a time. We hope to have that on screen for you as Adam waves to us tonight. Hi, Adam. He'll hear the audio here in a couple seconds because he's probably listening to us. So, yeah, you're looking at the no fuel sign on the wall there, 38.7. That was set by Marshall Miller during an arrive and drive race. We only count track records for arrive and drive races. They have to be standard races, so like outdoor 8 laps, indoor 12 laps. You can't run an endurance race and qualify because obviously you have a big advantage in doing that. Those are just times. The top 2 are for indoor, for adult and junior, and then followed by an outdoor adult. You know, technically we do have a outdoor junior. We need to put it up on the board. Something to do this week. So let's see. We got a couple people, Rachel Light on board Dom, a couple of people rooting for Mark. Let's go, Mark. Got a lot of fans for Mark. PJ is saying a 40.1. Did I have his time incorrect? Oh, come on. PJ, yes. PJ 40.145. I probably said a 40.4 incorrectly. Sorry about that. And it looks like our pole sitter for the B main is going to be Tristan, followed by Katie and then Mark Davis. Those are your top three for the B main. Then we'll have Alex, Cy, Jeremiah, Dave, Andrew, Colin, and Jonathan Douglas. They will be the first up on track. And then running order for the A main, we have Rachel Hart sitting on pole again. That is her second pole. She had pole last Sunday as well, followed by Marshall Miller, then Dominic and Jacob. So basically all these drivers picking up where they left off at the end of round one. Sean Horrigan right there in the mix. Giovanni setting a better qualifier than last time around. Last round. Then Brandon, Dane, PJ, and Clay. Clay is your cutoff point for the A main. I'm going to step aside for just a minute, guys, while we get drivers in their cars. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Dang, I think we hit that field goal. I feel like we're actually in broadcasting now. That was perfect. So
Who, us?
yeah, the song faded. We hit it like right on the head. They call it hitting the field goal, I think. Yeah. Gotta fix the hair. That's why I wear a hat. I don't have to worry about it.
That's probably a good option. Yeah.
So, pro points, where are we at? Because we talked about the rookies. So, pro, we have...
Marshall Miller sitting up top because of the win last week. Rachel Hart behind. Let's
2
talk.
points.
Yeah, let's talk about bonus points because there is a point for pole, so Rachel earns that.
Mm-hmm.
She would earn 24 points for the race, bonus point for the pole. She will earn another bonus point tonight for pole as well.
If she holds that for the second one, right? Because there's 2 qualifiers.
No, just single.
Oh, that's right.
We go racing after
I
this.
forgot about that.
GP's next week.
I know. Yeah, join us next week for
Yeah.
GP where Jason's stuck on the rules.
Then we got Marshall Miller, who set the fastest lap of the race. He gets 2 bonus points, so 25 plus 2.
Yep.
And then our new rule for biggest mover of the race.
Yeah.
We had a tie between Sean Horrigan and PJ because they both moved up 4 spots.
4 or 5 spots, right? They jumped the field. So how do you
4
break
spots.
the tiebreaker? Is it time based?
The fastest lap of the race between the two of them.
Got it.
And it was close.
Like really close?
Really close. Let me go to last week's race because
It's really not surprising with PJ, though. PJ and Katie, the 2 people you just want to watch out for when it comes to Sunday racing. It is qualifying mid-pack, and then they are seriously fun to race.
PJ's fastest lap of the race was 25.715.
Mm-hmm.
Sean was a 7.63.
Wow.
That's how he won the bonus point for the biggest mover of the race.
Holy smokes.
So,
Well, that's cool.
yeah.
That makes it fun. I like that.
Do you like our new picture-in-picture?
I do. I love this.
We can point to people and be like,
I know. This guy, Marshall.
Marshall? Are you sure we're in broadcasting or are we just
Right?
playing now?
This is too much fun. I enjoy doing this. I get, I don't know. It's too much fun. It's better. So, I did Boost League by myself for a little bit, and it's really tough to get the hang of talking and running all of this. With 2 people, it goes a lot smoother. 3 people, it's even better, but, we are balling on a budget here, so we've got 2 people. So we've got a lot of good lucks out there. Let's go Clay. Let's go Mark. Go Dominic. Love it. Lots of people in the chat tonight.
So I'm sure all of you guys that are rooting for your favorite driver are already subscribed to our channel. But if you're not, now's a good time to subscribe. But also hit that like button for us right now. You know how this game is played. We appreciate you clicking the like button for us.
And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, we want to do more videos. We are doing more videos. We're getting back to Sidetracked hopefully soon. We took a little bit of time off after the 12 hours, which was much needed. I was going to say deserved, but in the world of YouTube, it's like you have to keep going with stuff.
Yeah.
So we enjoy doing these, but we want to do more behind-the-scenes stuff with James and me. And James is really good at the technical stuff. Those videos are great. How to drive the track, best way to drive it, all that fun stuff. Battery telemetry, new batteries here. If you haven't driven these karts lately, or you haven't at all, and you've driven other K1s, I know other K1 locations will check in with our broadcasts once in a while. You guys definitely, we're right down the street from Akron Canton Airport. So if you have a layover or it's just worth the fly, 100%. We've been to a lot of the K1s, and this is not just because it's home field for me. It is seriously one of the best ones out there, if not the absolute best one.
Well, plus we just like to do different stuff, so.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the same track, right? You've got karts. You invest, as like a business, you invest in the facility. So you have the same facility. You're not going to add on to the building or anything crazy. You've got the same karts. You've got a lifetime of those. And it's really about how much fun can you squeeze out of what you have. And let's get creative with it.
Well, I was thinking next thing we need on this live stream is a telestrator so we can draw on stuff. Drew, can you pan up to the right-hand side there where the pit lane entry is, where everybody was practicing back there? That is another piece of the puzzle for Boost League. Yeah. Look, I can point to it now, right here. But we utilize this part of the track now for different track configurations. Mm-hmm. So
it's seriously fun.
Obviously, for this race, in addition to Boost League night, I called it Boost League. It's Boost night. You can come race different track configurations with that.
Yeah, and it'll be indoor configuration, which I've run, outdoor configuration, which I've run, and it is it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I'd say big thanks to the guys that built it, but it was basically you and me.
I.
That was a long day, but very rewarding. You ever do a project where it's like it's just by the end of it, you're almost seeing double, but you're just in it, so you have to complete it. And I think we got it like 90% of the way there, and it was 10 o'clock at night. We've been going since, I don't know, 8 o'clock that morning, and we were just like, okay, give us 2 carts. We have to drive this. And it was enough to make me smile. I don't know about you. I was like, okay,
it was great.
we're going to have some fun with this. So Boost League Thursday nights open to anyone that wants to try pushing the boost button. Everybody always asks about that button. Come try it out Thursday night.
It will run this Thursday, by the way, so it's going to be every other week.
Every other?
Every
Okay.
other, yep.
Awesome.
But you can come this week. Last week we did Super Pole. So we gave you one qualifying lap
Whoa.
to set your position. That was great because if you didn't have it all together, you kind of missed out. But it made for an interesting race too. So
You remember that one Boost League where we did like I think it was like a 10-lap qualifier, 7-lap qualifier, whatever it was, and you had to pick your lap, your fastest lap, whatever you thought it would be.
Yeah.
So out of 7 laps, there's no scoreboard. You just have to pick a number, and that was the lap that we used for your qualifier, which was a lot of fun. On board, Mark Davis, 12 Hours of Canton sticker on his helmet. Sweet. Thanks, Mark.
I would assume by next year we'll see him in the 12 Hours camp.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Sorry, guys. All the testing in the world never competes with real racing conditions with
time.
cameras. So
We're getting it. It's we're very transparent here. We like to keep you guys in the loop with what we're working on, always trying to make it better. And we've gotten the carts really good. I mean, these carts are extremely consistent. James, our mechanic here, just a fantastic job with the carts. So,
put a comma there, James and our mechanic here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm not the mechanic, but
yeah, I mean, it's incredible how close and how fast these carts are. Seriously, come out and try them. But the carts are all relatively close. They're good mechanically. Batteries are not the worry of 6 hours a day stress for James. So, we take our streaming pretty seriously here. So why not jump on making better onboards? And that's what the next kind of pet project is here, I think.
And speaking of batteries, that's going to be very interesting for the strategy. So we saw a couple of drivers, PJ and Katie, reveal their new strategy, and that is pit immediately. So
Yeah.
I'm going to see who is going to follow that strategy tonight because it worked out very well for PJ. But obviously you only have 2 clocks. So you got to be very careful with whether you're going to follow that strategy and whether other drivers are going to be in that pit stop window with you.
It is a really interesting thing to do, and you're guaranteed to finish the race too now, right? Or now you're guaranteed to finish the race with the new batteries. So,
right. Yeah. So if you, for some reason, you have a battery problem, we swap out carts, whereas before we did not do that.
So it's almost worth the risk in a sense, but you can only have 2 carts going there at a time. So if I'm interested to see if the fastest drivers, which we saw in the A main last time, are going to follow that same strategy, or they're going to continue with the strategy of staying out as long as they possibly can and then pitting.
We're waiting for Katie, who's the last one to leave the pits, but she's sitting in the number 2 spot in the starting grid.
Oh, this is going to be a race. We should have put the camera backwards on her.
So we've nicknamed, and she's adopted the name the Bull. I think if there's... what's the best term for this? The Bull Junior? I think that's going to be Tristan. So
You think so?
let's see how this works out for us.
Yeah, we're backwards on Tristan, actually, I think, on GoPro, too. So that'll be, he's going to have his hands full with Katie. And then Katie is just really, really difficult to pass. Hi, Katie. She's very difficult to pass. One of my favorite racers here. If she makes a bad pass on you, she'll give it back right away, but still incredibly good at holding her position. On board with Jonathan Douglas as well. Jonathan qualified, I think, last in the B main, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's in the back of the field.
Yep. So he'll be able to work his way up. Again, remember, there is points awarded for most passes in the race. So if Jonathan works his way up to first, that is extra points for him because he passes the whole field. That is a great idea. Looks like everybody's getting ready. Feet off the pedals have been announced. Let's go to Adam's going to go to the lights here. We will be off and rolling for the second week of the Endurance Challenge here at K1 Speed Canton.
Drivers off the pedals. Stand by for the B main round 2, the Endurance Karting Championship from K1 Speed Canton. And we're off.
Let's see how turn 1 goes. Pretty clean.
Very clean. The only gap I see difference would be Katie and Mark there.
Yeah, Katie
Katie
got
lost a
off to
little bit of ground,
Yeah.
but we will watch them as they come outside for the very first time. Tristan leading the field as Alex Haymaker's trying to look down the inside of Mark Davis there. Alex has got that bright yellow shirt. Oh, he's going to put the pressure
pass.
on Mark. What are they going to do as they round the corner? And Alex is going to be a little under pressure from number 10, Cy Linderman.
Yeah, Mark was able to keep that position. That was good. Putting himself on the inside of that is
exactly.
a really good idea.
But Alex is going to stay in the number 4 position.
Katie's working her way up to Tristan already.
And she went purple the first lap. I think she did that last week, too.
Yeah, held up the field a little bit, create a gap. It might be a strategy she's doing, but maybe. So nose to tail on the way out the doors, coming into the outdoor section.
Fastest part of the track. You lose a little bit of grip here. You have the option of where you want to brake and how much traction you want to keep on the car. Oh, Katie's going to get him on the inside.
Perfect pass. She
Textbook.
set that up perfect.
Yes. And she's going to lift into the carousel. Will she be able to hold it? Looks like it. There's a little bit of a gap back to Tristan as they're going to go to the start-finish line. She will round with a 40.6 on lap number 2. Oh, Tristan giving her the heat as they go through round 3. He's reminding her he is still there. How you handle this straightaway does determine how your top speed on the car comes out. You see Katie taking kind of the inside line real close to the barrier there,
really
exiting
defensive.
mid-track, a little bit of braking. You have to be careful not to let the car slide sideways. All 4 positions on through Alex. Now nose to tail as they round back inside. They go a little bit over a bump there, kind of unsettles the car. And back to the timing line.
Katie's going to run really defensive here. So she's going to probably run a little bit slower of a lap time. Mark Davis with a 40.402. So he's making hay. He's catching up already to Tristan. And if Katie's able to just work that gap a little bit, if Tristan and Mark are getting into it behind her, she's going to be able to work a little bit of a gap, which would be really good for her. But she runs a really defensive line, but it's not the fastest defensive line.
Yeah, but look at that lap with Mark Davis on lap 3. He's a 40.4. Almost a half a second faster than Katie on that last lap. And Tristan is going to pit. So he's going to say, I want a different car, and might as well take advantage of that. He will be the first one to pit on lap 3. Let's see what Jonathan Douglas is looking at back here on the number 14 of Colin in front. We're welcoming Colin to our series. We're glad to have him along. One of our younger drivers, friends with Mark. And let's follow along to the pit stop as the clock will count down from 25 seconds. He jumps over to the number 12 car.
Yeah, looking on track, looks like everybody's got a pretty good gap. So where is he going to come out at? Katie's rounding the outside already. So he's going to come out ahead of Katie. He hasn't been released yet. Let's see if he can beat Katie out. I don't think so. Katie's still going to have the advantage on this with the speed coming into turn 1.
Yep, he's going to lose a little bit of a ground, but not
too much.
He's going to slot in there pretty well behind Alex Haymaker. So it's actually going to work out pretty well for him as far as traffic goes.
Everybody pretty spaced out.
As
So
Katie was now able to hit that 40.5 on her last lap.
yeah, she knows she doesn't have to run super defensive. So she's just going to cruise now. Work on tightening up her line. But I think Mark Davis will be able to catch up to her. Mark is getting faster and faster every race he runs. And he's in the rookie series, but if he gets up to Katie, he's going to get a good taste of what the Pro Series drivers drive like. So,
absolutely. And he's really improving his skills. Every time we see him, he's moving up.
Yeah.
And obviously running the teen league as well. We see him in arrive and drive racing here all the time.
Yeah, it's good to see him. Katie put up a 40.2 fastest lap and then quickly bested by Andrew Finley at a 40.091.
As we're going to follow along with Jeremiah Hilton, who's going to be your number 2 pitter.
As he swaps over to the next cart.
Oh, I believe they might be using timer number 2. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's a cool improvement that we get to see it from up here, too.
Yeah.
Are you directly pulling from that computer screen, so you're going off of their time? That's awesome.
There's no delay, no lag.
Oh, perfect. And it's cool for the viewers to see, too, because you're able to see how long they're in the pits for. Where they're going to slide out into that pack is really important because everybody has to take a pit. It's a mandatory pit stop. Yes, the karts will last
He's
as
gonna
long as the race, but
slot back in, a little bit less space than Tristan had, as the number 25, Jonathan Douglas, is going to be right on his tail exiting the pits.
cold tires. Ooh, bumped out of
Yeah,
5.
that's the difficult part. Let's see what they do on the outside as number 30 rounds. They're going to go side by side. Let's follow the action to your right there.
Goes riding really defensive, holds this inside.
Really good job under braking with cold tires, handling that car well, but number 25 is going to try to sneak in there.
Jonathan Douglas.
Going to go side by side as they round the indoor.
He's able to close on it. Awesome pass.
He did so well in the braking zone, but holding the inside of those double S's was a little tricky.
And it's super important to exit that S turn outside on the inside. You saw Katie do it in the first couple laps. It is where everybody gets passed on that inside.
We'll follow them as they exit and round the outside. You can see how easy it is to slide the car sideways as they come around the outside. There's definitely track temperature out there tonight, but it's borderline greasy. Like I said, we had ambient temperatures of about 85 degrees today. There's a little bit of grip in the asphalt, but it does start to get slippery when the track temperature really heats up.
And the outside track was actually bead blasted, so it's got a really good surface, but it's only been open, a handful of times so far this year, right?
Yeah, I would say an equivalent of about a week.
So there's still yet to be rubber put down because of the wintertime. It all kind of fades away. Looks like we've got a pretty good battle here going on. Looks on the inside. I think it's 25 or 35.
Yeah, we have Tristan in the mix there, but he has scored down there at the bottom with Jeremiah. Those are our only 2 pit stoppers so far. Otherwise, Katie pulling out a pretty good lead over Mark Davis in the number 4.
So this is Dave, Cy, and Andrew in 4th, 5th, and 6th for that. We have a stop on the track for some reason.
Looks like we have a red flag.
I don't know who's out. Kart 12 of Tristan.
Taking a look at it, I told the drivers today that some of the bumps coming in and out of the concrete have been creating some problems with the suspension pieces. I wonder if he's got the same issue or not.
Let's see. Adam's trying to figure it out down there. Yeah, it looks like they're giving him a kart swap, so it must have been a mechanical of something. What's been happening with the bump?
It's breaking the kingpin on the steering.
Wear and tear? Like, is that something that happens often, or is it, the karts are how many years old now? 3 years old, so...
Yeah. I think, well, we're going to find out here in a few weeks, but I think it's just been exasperated by not having the outdoor open and then suddenly them getting hit all the time and pounded on the concrete. I think once we get through any of the ones that are weak or slightly fractured, we'll probably be in the clear. But I think we're weeding out some kingpins that are not as strong as they should be.
Yeah, someone asked me the other day, what is the highest wear item of these karts besides the tires? Someone asked if you replace a lot of brakes, because you figure public arrive and drive, people are on the brakes all the time. Do brakes wear out quite a bit on these karts, or what's the next highest wear item?
It's not too bad. The next highest wear item is bearings.
Okay.
So. Thanks, Ryan, for giving us that red flag a couple of minutes late. Well, Jacob is driving that car without an issue, so I'm not sure what the holdup is with it.
Not sure either. We'll have to find out trackside.
Meanwhile, let's check up where Katie is sitting outside.
Katie's still in first position, right? With a pretty good gap behind her. I would say so, yeah. Looks like it.
Oh, I shouldn't have rolled the scoreboard out. It's going to have to update here in a little bit.
Everybody waiting for that green light to go. That way on the outdoor track, you can actually see when to restart. Probably a little bit hard to see with the sun and that light right now, but
Yeah.
actually you can still see it. If you pop the camera too, you can see the flashing red light. I'm sorry, outdoor camera. Hey, you can see the red light flashing. So that's not too bad. Even in direct sunlight, you can see those lights pretty well.
Oh, the track light.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering with sunset how that would look.
We got word from track that we're going to be good to restart. Car swapped out.
Everybody feet off the pedals again.
And wait for the green track lights. Once the cars cycle around, they'll update all the lap times again.
And we're green.
As we'll follow Katie outside, as she's got Mark Davis right behind her. Those are the positions for 1 and 2, followed by Alex Haymaker.
Yeah, top 4 have a pretty good gap. It's almost same gap all the way to Dave Floyd in the back there. As we get another one pitting. And that is kart 36.
36, yep, Dave Flory.
Hop in for his kart swap. I know this is his first time here, I think.
No, he was with us last month.
Oh, was he?
Or last week, yeah. He was actually the one that had the issue with the scoring on his kart.
Oh,
we had
that's right.
A failure with the timing sensor on his car. So what we did in that situation was we found his lap times. He was missing 6 laps on the board, and we went back and we found out where he had, regular lap times around 25 seconds to 26 seconds. So we found 50-second lap times, and we found 100-second lap times. We divided them and replayed them into the scoring system to see where he would simulate his position, and he actually finished second in that race.
Awesome. That's cool that you can go back and do that.
Yeah.
Mark Davis Jr. Come on, Mark. Your mom says hi.
You got lots of support from Team Davis.
Tristan putting up a 39.9 right out of the gates. So they've been sitting for a few minutes, so everything cooled down. So that's a pretty good time on a little bit colder of tires. So good job.
If you get a really close-up shot of Mark Davis, you'll get to see some of the very custom stickers he's got on his helmet, one of which is our very own series, the Endurance series.
Awesome.
Really cool stuff that I think his grandpa is making for him. So there you can see the sun in the driver's eyes as they faced west coming outside. That's part of the reason we want to do this twilight race, is because it would be right around this time of day when the sun is setting. Give us twilight.
That's right. 6 hours. 12 hours of Canton, the 6-hour race called the Twilight.
Yeah.
That'll be coming up. No date nailed down for it yet, but looking like end of August, early September sometime. So as soon as we have a date, we'll let you guys know. But along with that, since we've got 20 minutes to go, we do have a pro endurance series coming up too. So that'll be a lot of fun to watch. Really stretch the legs of these endurance drivers and see what everybody can do.
Just follow Mark there, camera 2. You got Alex Haymaker. He's got a little bit of a gap behind, but Alex sitting at 40.6. I was here last night when he was racing, and he was a little frustrated because he wasn't in the 41s. Well, look at that. 40.6 last time around.
It's what endurance races will do to you. I love it.
Yes.
It's the best part about lithium-ion batteries here, and this is one of the few places you can get a kart that'll go faster and faster and faster over 30 minutes. Any other arrive and drive place, a 30-minute race, you're crawling into the pits at the end of it if you can make it.
So he's going to have the heat there from Tristan, who's bearing down on the back of 21. They're going to round outside. Let's see if
Looks to the inside a little bit.
Yeah, that's always a dangerous spot to try to overtake at high speed.
I think we've all been there.
Tristan, I saw his car look on the inside real quick, but he knew he wasn't as close as he needed to be. That's okay. He's got lots of time. We're not even quite halfway through the race. But we'll keep an eye on this battle between the 20 and the 21.
I think he's sizing them up right now, just trying to see.
That's good. It's good to see a little bit of patience. Last week, he got spun in turn 1. Frustrating, obviously. But tonight, let's see what he does to try to keep that laser focus keep a clean race. You can see him leaning over. He's been taking lessons from Jacob Ryan.
Really?
That's the way Jacob runs. Trying to keep that aerodynamics low as possible.
Yeah, this is the closest race on track right now. I think everyone else is pretty well spread out.
Yeah, for sure. Alex is going a little wide in that carousel. That's going to give him just an edge going into turn 1. So now it's just a matter of watching. Where will he be able to try to overtake?
Nose to tail in turn 4. Nothing happening here.
Go ahead.
I was going to say he has a shot outside into the S's, but
it's so tough, this braking zone right here. It's so easy to get the car sideways because you're under the maximum amount of braking pressure. And then Tristan's going to look on the inside. Is he going to be able to maintain it? He's going to have a little bit of advantage going into the indoor turn 5.
Yes,
and he's going to take him through the carousel. Tristan moving up a spot from Alex.
If you can maintain your momentum like he did, you're able to get that kart moving a little bit quicker than the next guy, and you can slot right in front of him just like he did. That was a textbook clean pass coming in from the outside.
And we talked about pit stops, strategies. Basically, we haven't seen anybody play the early pit stops yet except for Tristan and Jeremiah.
Yeah, they're the only ones that I think have pitted so far.
Speaking of which, we got a pit stop from 14. They've already updated his car number, so he's 32, so I'm calling.
Tristan with a 39.4. I was going to say he was moving once he got by that guy.
He is liking the setup, that's for sure. Let's follow number 32 as he has a couple seconds left on his clock, and he is free to go. Not a bad pit stop. Could have let go a little earlier, but that's okay. He will re-enter the track with lots of clear track space to his name. Let's follow along, see what we've got outdoor here. As we follow the number 10 and 18 of Cy.
Dave Flory.
Dave Flory.
You can see how much faster Dave is in some of these turns. He's able to catch right up to Cy. Look on the inside
look on the inside.
Oof. Can he make it stick, though?
Oh,
yeah.
But the over-under could apply in turn 3. Nope, he's going to hold it. As he will now have clear track space to the outside. Great camera work from our operators today. Even though we're not giving them instructions, they're following along on the heats. It's great to see. Appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, they're watching the race just like we are. Where's the action at? Oh, outside. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. He was looking at making a move, and I don't know who that is.
We're now going to have a pit stop from Andy coming in from 35. I'm going to take a guess. They're going to run this timer. Yay. All right. Switch over to 2.
I was going to say, there's a lot of pressure being put on Katie by the 20 of Tristan.
Yeah. Let's switch over the carousel back there, camera 1. And follow them.
He is
Tristan's moving up.
Yes, he is. He is. So his last pass, as soon as he got around that guy, he was hauling. But Katie's going to have her hands full with this. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Mark Davis.
Yeah, Mark Davis. Watch on the outside. Let's see the line that Mark takes coming into the S's. Good control there. Does he hold a nice tight line exiting? Not too much. There can be a little bit of space there. One of the things we continue to see over and over again with track records is that if you continue to take track space off of your lap, you will improve your time. So it's about maintaining the quickest speed you can, but trying to shorten up those corners as much as possible. You want to try to hug these corners.
And the interesting thing here with Tristan and Mark is that if Tristan's able to get around Mark, Mark has not pitted yet. So the more distance you put between yourselves and the people that haven't pitted, the better off you are once they do pit stop and their time does come back down.
You can see Tristan push sideways a little bit, but he's going to take that tighter line. Nope, not going to make a difference. He'll stay behind Mark again through another corner. But he knows he has the advantage with him having his pit stop already completed.
Right on the bumper. He's going to look for some inside line. Mark checking behind him every second he gets.
And that's going to mess him up,
Yep.
unfortunately, pushing through 4. Will Tristan take advantage of that outside? He's going to be on the bumper, but...
Little bump here in the brake zone. Nope. Switch that inside. Good line. Now, if he has the drive and momentum, he doesn't. But if he did, he could slot right in.
You can see that Tristan now running higher 39 lap times than what he was running a few laps ago. Mark holding his own in the number 4 machine. You'll be able to check out Mark's onboard footage on his own YouTube channel. Look him up as K1 Racer. That'll probably be posted at some point.
Did Katie hit? Katie's dropping down the leaderboard. But, no, Katie's still out.
We got Alex in the pits, definitely.
Yeah, Katie's still out, but she dropped off of first place. I don't know how that happened.
I believe this being Alex's first endurance race. Pitting just past the halfway mark.
Huh.
And off he goes.
That was weird. I wonder if it missed a lap or something.
Let's see. See if I can find Katie's starting car number.
I don't think she's pitted yet, so 3.
Katie's in car 3.
As the 20 to 10, and that's Cy and...
Nope, I don't have record of her pit stop.
So her time just timed now. It didn't time before, and she dropped into 4th place from there. So I think
She did start in car 3, so yes, she has not completed a pit stop yet.
Yeah, so she has not been passed by those guys. I know
Let's
that.
follow Katie outside. Well, in front of her is Colin, so he has completed a pit stop.
Yep, so that makes sense. So he's the back marker. And then she's got a pretty significant gap behind her to Mark, Jonathan, and Cy. That was that group that we were following for a little bit. And they're just now coming in inside.
She is on the lead lap with everybody, though.
Technically, Mark... How did Mark get up a lap?
Well, he hasn't pitted yet. So Mark, Jonathan, Cy, and Katie have not pitted.
Yeah, but he's one whole lap up. Oh, Jonathan's
a hard hit.
Wow.
Off to the side. Number 32, Colin, getting squeezed by Katie on the outdoor right before the S's. She must have just washed wide.
Yeah. It is sometimes really tough. When you're taking the inside like that and someone's outside, it is really slippery out there, and it is very easy to wash wide. Yeah, I think Katie missed a lap. That would have dropped her into 4th because she is a lap behind. Because Mark, when he crossed, Mark's a lap up somehow. I think there's a minor issue. But that's okay. We can keep track of it.
Yeah, but he's on the same lap as Jonathan.
Yeah, but all 3 of them, like they're all going 29, 29, 29, 28.
Yep.
Katie should be on 29 with them, and that would put her in 1st because she's way ahead of those guys. So I think it just missed a lap with her, and then everybody else would be 27 because they've already pitted. So now she turns 29, and then these guys will turn 29, but they haven't passed her yet. 30, 30, 30.
Well,
something to check out.
Yeah, we'll check on that then.
Because I know if we caught it, they definitely caught it. But that's okay. So long as we get ahead of it, we'll be all right. So there's Katie, all alone. Pretty good gap behind her. Her onboard's working quite well as I say that. It's going to do something as she pits.
She's gonna
there
pit.
We go.
A little late on the call sign there, but
Yep.
that's all right.
She was out to pasture. There's no one around her. So she's going to come in. And now let's see where she slots out. This will be important. see here. 14 seconds to go. There is Jonathan inside just past that checkered line, so she'll be right behind. And she's off. Getting out of the pits, the karts automatically reaccelerate as soon as you get to the line here.
This will be the battle for the lead. Yeah, but the Trek worker's confirming that she did not score one of the laps, so...
Gotcha. So she is on lap 30 then.
As we follow the markers going through 3, we'll zoom in a little bit here as they push through 4. Got Mark Davis still under heat from Tristan. Boy, the golden sunset really in the driver's eyes as they round that outdoor exit. So I believe we're also looking for Mark to pit as well.
Tristan on the inside here. Mark, he's able to close this, I bet. Yep. And Mark diving into the pits. So Mark is taking his pit stop now.
Oh, he let off the throttle really early. That's going to be costly for his lap time. Usually you see the slowdown mark all the way towards the very end of the pits, and he slowed down pretty early. So let's see where this is going to slot him out. Oh, they're going to use timer 2 again. We'll stay with his shot because this is going to be important for the lead of the race as far as where he's going to exit out. He had a little bit of a slow pit stop last week.
Looks like that was pretty clean.
Yep, and he's going to take the number 5 machine. Alex is going to rejoin right in front of him. And Tristan, where do we have Tristan? Do we have Tristan outside? Yes. Yeah, we just followed along. So I believe that's going to put Mark 2 spots back. We'll see where this sorts out.
So everybody is pitted now, right? About 6 minutes to go. Or are we still waiting on...
Jonathan and Cy.
That's what I... Yep.
All right, so there's Mark Davis. He's going to go slot into the number 5 spot. You can see what a difference that made with that pit stop. But overall, good times for him on the board. As you can identify Alex in the bright yellow shirt rounding the outside.
A pretty good space between all of them, so everybody running really good, though.
Theoretically, when the last 2 come in for their pit stops, we'll have Tristan and Alex, but we also need to find out where Katie is on the board.
Correct.
So she should be in 34 laps.
And depending on her position on the field, that would put her potentially in first place.
Yeah, she is, because track position-wise, she's in the number 2, coming inside as the rest of the guys are outside.
Correct. So that would put Katie in first.
Yeah, that's correct.
Followed by Tristan and Alex.
And Mark.
Once Jonathan inside decide to pit, we're coming up on 4.5 minutes left in the race.
This is the point in the race where you have to continue to focus. It's easy to let your mind daydream, but it also is easy to be a little fatigued at this point. How can these drivers handle as we follow Katie outside? Holding nice and tight to the inside. She can hug that exit to the left very close. I think that's a key to the lap time.
She's going to have to hold Tristan off because this will be for first place.
Exactly. Good eye as we're watching outside through the S's. A little bit of traffic. All right, we're switching back to the leaders now.
So this will end up being the battle for first place here, and Tristan has been flying in this kart.
Exactly.
Flying. So Katie's going to run a very defensive line with this as soon as she realizes that he's back there, and it's going to slow him up a little bit.
Oh, she realizes it.
Yeah. This will be very difficult to make this pass unless he can get the underside, but she's really good at protecting those inside turns. as we round the back carousel here, nose to tail. So Tristan's going to look for any opportunity with this.
Yeah, which bringing him back to that first position would be right where their starting order was, because it was Tristan and Katie.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly, whatever Tristan mechanical problem he had is probably the reason he got set back such a distance from her, and he's basically made all that track back.
And then some, yeah. Yeah, he's the one that's moved quite a bit through the field.
He's going to take a little bit outside line, try to take some more speed, maybe. Yep,
Ooh,
just to get the inside of her. As 20 and 22 round the inside. He's going to the inside line. Tristan's going to take that spot as he round the carousel back towards the timing line. Tristan back up to the spot where he started.
Katie looks the inside of turn 1, dives in as Katie Wood, puts herself side by side into 2.
As Katie Wood. Oh, they're trying the
good
over-under. She's going to
inside.
get him in 3, squeeze him to
Good
the outside.
squeeze.
He's going to be forced to make that position again.
That is why I love racing with Katie. She will find a way to make that work, and she's not going to, knock you off the track doing it. But you better be ready for a little bit of bumping.
And yes, in the chat, Katie did lose a lap of the transponder. That's why we're considering her in the lead as we got our last pit stop. Or no, Cy in the pits right now.
So Jonathan Douglas will be the last one to pit, but this Katie protecting the inside at all costs. Looks for the over-under, does Tristan, but no.
Battling it out through 3. He's going to try to give her the same treatment that she gave him a lap ago, but she's going to maintain.
Katie will shut that down every time. As they come through the doors outside.
A minute and a half remaining competition. The white, I think I hear Tristan yelling from underneath his helmet.
I don't know if that's Tristan or if that's Katie.
I don't know.
Katie loves, when she gets in this kind of stuff, she loves it, so she could be yelling too.
This is the reason she's an endurance racer and endurance champion. She's got one of the quote-unquote rookies underneath the back of her as Tristan's waving for something. Oh,
that's a rough move.
That is not good.
At least they both corrected it. Now he's got someone in between them. So that was that was a bad decision.
Yeah,
that
it was
a really bad decision.
For whatever complaint he had, he should have just stuck with her.
Yeah,
he'll pay the penalty just like he did last week.
That's it. I mean, you can get really frustrated in those situations, but you've
got to stay
stick
focused.
It out. Yep.
Yes.
You've got to stick it out because now he's got someone in front of him with 43 seconds. There's no way you can make that gap up. Katie's going to cruise into this.
Well, now, and he's got Alex to deal with as well.
And Jonathan Douglas still hasn't pitted yet.
Don't believe so.
I don't think. Well, no, everybody's on the lead lap. So, okay, he's pit.
Jonathan Douglas started in the car 25.
Yeah, so he must have pitted a lap ago because now it's all sorted back out.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. I was checking in on Colin, who you're following him in the number 32, to see what kind of lap time he was running. Last time, 42.1. A lot of good laps for him to be putting in as he's going to go outside. Oh, we're going to see a train coming here. We got to follow this train and coming inside, yeah. Now, this is interesting. Cy as lap traffic, you've got Rachel. This should be white flag this time by. White flag is out. Katie's going to dive in the inside. This is lap traffic she's dealing with. Going to force her to the outside. Oh, Tristan's going to be pushed again through turn 2. Final lap. Obviously looking at Katie being on top of the leaderboard, even though she's not displayed there.
That was Tristan's chance there. If he didn't get taken out, that would have been 4 cars going into it.
Alex in the number 2, and you got Cy mixing it up with the leaders as he's going to pull a little bit off to the side.
And we'll follow Katie through the carousel.
Katie started in the number 2 spot, and she's going to come to the timing line with a checkered flag, taking the B main. Even though I think the signal is going based upon the track mark.
Technically,
yes.
Katie got the checkered flag, but it...
yeah, she was lap 43, yeah.
Yes.
But like we learned last week, they're just going to keep racing.
She's going to keep racing until you're told to get off the track, and I would do the same thing.
Yeah, don't leave it to chance.
Yep, keep going. Just keep going. All right, so we've got a couple people in the pits. There's meters.
She went ahead and ran it anyway.
Yep.
So
Yep. She doesn't. I don't think she knows it yet because she's looking at the scoreboard trying to figure it out. But these flags, I love it.
yeah. And that was all because of a missed lap quite a ways ago for Katie.
Yeah. So she will be really happy if she doesn't already know. Congratulations. So the official, unofficial, from our official upstairs, unofficial until we actually announce it, is Katie Wise in first, Alex Haymaker, a rookie, in second, Tristan McCannon in third, Mark Davis in fourth. Mark just missing out on the podium there, followed by Jonathan Douglas, Dave, Jeremiah, Andrew, Cy, and Colin.
Good result from Andrew there, joining the Endurance League at the very last minute tonight. Good lap times from him. 43 laps on the board.
Do we have the fastest laps of the race? Can
Yeah.
we pull that real quick?
Yep.
I'm just curious how everybody ran, because I know your times just significantly drop once you start doing endurance stuff. So our slowest on the board was a 40.6, so still very fast. Who set the fastest?
Tristan with a 39.4.
Wow, good.
That was fast.
Other 39s?
39.815 goes to Jonathan Douglas, and a 39.812 goes to Katie.
Awesome.
Everybody else in the 40s as far as best lap goes.
Mm-hmm.
Best, fastest lap.
So that wraps up your B main, and I guess we've got the A main now. So let some carts charge, and that was exciting.
It's always so much to keep track of. So
I know. You imagine if we had like both the mains put together and there was like 20 carts on the outdoor track? That'd be nuts. I'm glad it's a limit of 12 because it's enough going on. But congratulations. Awesome to see that. I know we've got a couple rookies in the A main too, so we'll catch that here shortly. Now we've got to get some GoPros charged up. We've got to get a couple cameras sorted out. So we'll be right back with you guys here in a minute. Welcome back. I like
well,
this song.
they never left. They're still here.
Oh, well, thanks for hanging out. You know, we need once in a while break. It's nice just to run downstairs. I told James I ran back up here, and I'm like, I love running downstairs because I had to catch up on like all the gossip from the last race, and Tristan's pass on Katie, where Katie's going down like this. Tristan's on the inside turn one and clips her. There was a guy coming out of the pits at the exact same time. So there was a argument of he was distracted. So I'm like, you can't be that distracted if you're mainlining down, into turn one off the straight. You're going for the pass. It doesn't matter if there's a guy coming out of the pits or not.
Yeah. Well, and there was not hands on the steering wheel at that point. So
Yeah. So frustrations galore, but come back, try it again, because you know what? This is racing.
Tristan is quick.
He was
Good job, Tristan.
fantastic. You guys watched how many people he passed?
Yeah. You can't give up.
No.
No.
Especially with endurance, a lot of weird stuff can happen. That's like the Marshall thing last week, where Marshall pulled off. Just keep racing. You never know. Weird stuff can happen. If the rules would have been different in the eyes of judgment of the rule makers, where if you pull off track before the end of the race, you're done racing. If that would have been the call, then it's proof again that you need to just continue racing until you're done. So,
But yeah, even if he was, it's just, it'd be in regular racing. If you have a mechanical failure and you pull off, if you complete 10 laps, you're scored with 10 laps.
correct. Yep.
So
you got to keep racing, even though stuff happens. And we saw stuff happen to Tristan that last race, and he was still able to gap and catch up. You got to keep racing, go at it. So, A main, Rachel, Marshall, Dominic, Jacob, Sean, Giovanni, Brandon Kovac, Dane, PJ. Yeah. You can throw that back on when she fits. You can grab it. That would be a cool thing. That should work perfect. Oh, okay. That's fine then. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Yep, just hold it. Yep. Perfect. Well, just put it somewhere static or run around. You can get close up
I think we're back.
Okay, cool.
If you guys are in the chat, give us a thumbs up real quick. You'll let us know we're back.
Minor technical difficulties. Sorted it out. We need that thumbs up, though, so not everybody just jump in the chat. We just need everybody letting us know we're back.
It was right after Jason said I fix a bunch of stuff.
Well, I said you broke it to fix it, so, well, at least. So, what is the better part of us breaking this just now, I wonder? Great race. GoPros all work.
Sure.
Let's go with it. Nobody's in the chat. Thumbs up in the chat, please. We need to know we're live. Unless the chat needs to refresh or something, but.
Well, kind of a big delay, so.
That's true. Oh, wait. Yep, we got thumbs up. It's working. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Minor technical glitch as OBS and
Cool. Thanks, Zach.
Studio.
Dylan. All right, good. Thank you, guys.
I think we should be good to rock and roll.
Minor technical glitch. Yeah, the whole board just crashed. Lost all video inputs and all outputs.
Yep.
But I'm glad that the stream stayed put. I appreciate that. We're good.
Yeah, so James is going to let Trackside know that we are good to go.
All right, so we're going to refocus on the A main. This is the race.
This is
of
the
the
race.
champions.
Yeah, this is the race.
We had great racing in the B main. We can't complain. I mean,
No.
like this is not like, oh, these guys are better or whatever. Good racing in the A main. So
Dominic Lynch, let's go, Clay. Heck yeah, I want to see Clay move up the board.
Rachel Hart sitting in the pole position once again with Marshall Miller right behind her. We're looking back on her camera.
Towards Marshall.
Hopefully they'll reset the time to 30 minutes.
Reset time?
Yep, so everybody's getting ready. Rachel, I just saw her do spirit fingers. Marshall's dialed in. He's not even on his phone this time right before the race, so he's pretty focused. I know he's going after it. No mistakes from Marshall is what he's telling himself in his head tonight. And watch the flags. Definitely watch the flags. And they're off for the A main in the second round of the Endurance Series here at K1 Speed Canton.
Giovanni dive into the inside of turn one, making a good move. Always going to get slid sideways as they go through 2 and 3. That was the only big mover there as they're going to go outside for the very first time. Rachel Hart leading the field by a significant gap.
She's got 6 kart lengths on Marshall already. I thought Marshall must have had a little bit of a rough start there going into the S this year.
PJ on the back of Dane right there. Going to give him some heat going through the S's as we're going to follow everybody else inside. Jacob Ryan, all these guys, 2, 3, 4, close in positions. Actually, everybody in the field.
40 seconds all the way down the board so far, except Sean Horgan, who's getting a little pressure put on him.
And I realize, a lot of 40 seconds lap times. Well, a lot of 40 seconds lap times on the board.
Jacob Ryan with the first 40 flat, 40.051.
We have our first fan club sitting on the fence line out there.
Love it.
That's good to see.
Rachel's still maintaining that gap, too, so that is a good thing to have when you have Marshall Miller immediately pitting.
Yep, he's going to pit. He saw the gap, probably.
Didn't like the kart, didn't like the handling.
Of course,
so
anytime I'm making assumptions about Marshall's
yeah.
race, it's probably wrong. So
that's true. We learned that last time. Rachel with a 39.476. I'm going to hopefully not eat my hat because I'm betting on at least 138 in this race. I am hoping to see.
That's a stretch, Jason. That's going to be quite a ways.
We'll see, though. Marshall's got about 18 seconds left in the pits. Rachel on the outdoor. The nice gap to herself and Dominic there in second, followed closely by Jacob Ryan and a whole heap of
Look
them
at
coming
this
in.
train going through the S's outside.
Single file, not bad.
Sean, Giovanni, Brandon, and PJ all keeping the heat. As Marshall is going to launch here, where is he going to join the crowd?
Third place. Well, okay, behind second and third.
Yeah.
But a lap down.
So a little over a lap is the pit delta.
Correct.
If we had Armand here, he would be telling us the actual time.
Rachel opening up a really big gap.
Really
to
big
Dominic.
lead. Of course, with that 39.3, it's hard to keep up with her.
Yeah. No, 38 isn't out of the question here with 3/10, and they're only 3 minutes into the race. She is moving. She just wants to open that gap up significantly enough because that lap and a half we were talking about for pits is really important. Try to get as much gap as you can between yourself and the next guy.
Let's follow this train that was right behind these guys. It's going to go around the carousel. Giovanni, PJ, Dane, Clay, all these guys keeping it nose to tail.
PJ doing his work in the endurance, just relaxes a little bit, finds his time behind someone that's moving at a good pace, kind of reads them. But PJ is a guy that won't really get into it with you unless there's a clear line of pass. He does not like to slow his momentum down.
But PJ not pulling the pit maneuver he did last week where he immediately pitted.
Yeah. I was wondering if we would see the fastest people do that this week, and Marshall is trying out the strategy.
But we do have a number 2 taker for the pit stops.
Yep. That is 34 of Dane Pavlik. Pulling into the pits.
And that's your number 2 pit stopper for the night. As we follow back outside action. Oh, who is that? Marshall looking at the inside of Jacob Ryan. They're going to run inside. Jacob likes to follow Marshall once in a while, but probably not in this kind of situation.
No. Rachel with a 39.164.
Well,
she is moving.
If you're willing her to the 38s, maybe that'll work.
I was figuring it would be Marshall.
She's going to show everybody else in the field that she deserved that win last round. Look at the gap.
Here to put an exclamation mark on this. She's got almost half a track.
Yeah.
Rachel's one of those drivers where she gets in a very consistent mood. She listens to music while she drives. We interviewed her on another one in the pits. Brandon Kovac.
Timer 2, not our timer 1.
Yeah, she gets music in her helmet and just gets in a groove and runs and runs and runs. And she is a very, very precise driver. As we look behind her, though, we've got a group. We got Marshall, Dominic, Jacob, and Sean here. Marshall's working his way through. And catch him outside here. Marshall's still with a gap behind Dominic there. Closes up in these S's. Marshall's got a really good line on tight turns. I don't know if you guys have noticed this watching, but...
Oh, we got pit stoppers again. So, yeah, we are taking quite a few drivers on the pit stop challenge here.
Yeah, everyone's pitting early, it seems like.
Yep, we got Dom, who's going to take a pit as well on the number 17.
Which, if he was able to keep that gap to Marshall, I don't know. I would have stayed out there a little bit longer, but that's all right.
Problems with the number 32 starting and turning on.
Looks like, it looks like they just power button coming on or off, or not sure. And he was well clear of that, so we got another one in the pits. Everybody working their way through the pits early in this A main. The only one I don't see pitting very early would be Rachel. Rachel, Sean, Giovanni jumps to third. 39.6. Everybody running good sub 40 times here.
Going to try to keep track of everybody who's doing the pit stops, but also let's find our leaders again. There's Rachel outside, and she's going to come inside once again.
Marshall with a gap behind her.
Let's see what the gap is here. Rachel's coming to the start-finish line. Marshall's just rounding into the carousel. So there's your... But you also got Sean in the middle of there who...
Yeah, there's Marshall in turn 1 now. Who's behind Marshall? Let's see. All right, there is Giovanni. So the gap to Giovanni from Marshall is about the same as it is from Marshall to Rachel.
There's Sean also pitting. Boy, everybody
hitting it early.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, strategy is what it is. You create it as you go, I guess.
You're watching the stop clock for Sean in the pits right there, as we can watch on-track action.
Rachel crossing the start finish at a 39.3. Let's see where is Marshall's time? 39.2 as of now. 39.2. Yeah, so Marshall is running about a tenth faster than Rachel is right now. So good odds of catching her within 22 minutes to go.
Look at where Sean's going to merge back in. He's going to have Dominic right by his side. Dominic on warmer tires. Sean's going to get pinched into turn 4. He's not going to have the good track space as Dom's going to hit the outdoors.
Looks like he kind of let off a little bit, let him go. That's a really good move. You just want to keep your momentum going. You really don't want to put people sideways. It takes away from both your times significantly.
As this pack will now go inside.
And another one pitting. That's Giovanni coming in the pits.
So far, PJ being the earliest pit stopper last week, and so far, one of the latest.
Correct.
Pit stops.
Yeah, so far it's just PJ and Rachel that have to pit. So we've been through the entire field of pit stops 10 minutes into the race. 9 minutes.
Less than 10. Yeah,
9 minutes, 30 seconds into the race.
But I have a feeling that Rachel's going to hold on to that cart as long as she can.
Yeah. 39, 1.5, or 0.15, sorry. Wow.
Giovanni's time expired, but he's not moving yet. There he goes.
Back out onto track, and he's going to come in, Dom, right behind PJ there. PJ's been kind of hanging in that spot for a little bit. PJ hasn't moved too much.
Giovanni starting in the 6th position, and PJ starting in the 9th. But obviously, pit stop strategy playing a role in all that.
Big time.
All right, where do we find our gap here? Rachel in the lead.
Yeah, Marshall's last lap was a 39.3. Rachel's current lap is a 39.3. She had that 39.1, so she's just got to keep that. She really has to manage that gap to keep this race.
But we're not even, well, we're just going to hit the 1/3 mark of the race. So got a lot of time for these drivers to potentially make up and or hit lap traffic.
Yeah.
Cause issues.
It's kind of crazy. Everybody pitted so quickly.
Yes.
So quickly.
Everybody except for Rachel and PJ.
I wonder what the strategy is. So Marshall did make his way around. Who is that? That was Clay, I think.
We'll watch this train hit the inside. Got Jacob Ryan, who was also 4th, I believe, last round. Him and Dom.
Good to see those guys racing endurance. I know they are really excited about it.
Yep. And here I was giving Rachel a hard time about having to practice beforehand. She's like, I haven't done the outdoor track in a while. I'm like, well, I think she's got a handle on that tonight.
No kidding. Leaning hard into the turns is the 18 of Jacob Ryan, trying to will his way around those turns with that cart, but followed closely by Dom. Dom's probably going to try and make a look around here at some point.
It seems to me that this battle is going to be taking place all season long.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah.
More and more drivers starting to lean in, pulling the Giovanni move of aerodynamics.
Armand's the one that truly tucks all the way into the cart.
He was the first one to see it. I was thinking about Giovanni being on track right now.
Yeah.
Watch these guys go nose to tail. If you see a little bit of chatter in the cars, it's, especially from Dom, it's the speed in which you're carrying through the corner is sometimes too much. You're overriding overriding the tires, and that's why they start giving up and sliding sideways. You'll see some of the drivers actually start to give a lift on the outdoor to make that lap time faster and minimize that track space. We say this over and over again, minimizing track space. It's a defined track. There are walls and barriers. You have to stay inside the limits, which makes the shorter track the faster route.
Dom is really giving Jacob a ride for his money here. He's looking for any way past that he can, but Jacob's got really good speed. As I say that, they stay nose to tail through here, but he was separating out. Bunched up a little bit, and that's where this comes into play. PJ hanging back here 4th in this group.
But Sean is keeping a close eye on the group, too.
38.960, Rachel Hart.
Wow. What a lap time. Laying the hammer down tonight, Rachel Hart in the number 31.
just cruising.
Sitting on the outside.
Still a good gap to Marshall. So.
Look at that. The other guys are leaving outdoors, and she is already in. That's how much of a gap she's pulled on the entire field right now.
And still a definitely maintainable gap to Marshall's 39.195, but they are running back and forth lap times. Let's catch back up to that group wherever they're at. There's Rachel coming through the door, so we know we got about a half a track length to the other guys somewhere. They're in turn 1, I think.
Yeah, she's going to be able to, as she goes inside, she's going to be able to stick out her hand and give high fives to the other drivers.
Yeah.
Right about here somewhere?
Yep,
there you go.
PJ
pitting. In the pit. Are we on timer 1? Yes, we are.
They didn't switch it up on you this time. I like the 25-second pit stop is a nice thing because, we have different age groups, different ages, all the way from young to old competing in this. Old relatively, I mean, geez.
Yeah.
But, it's the same disadvantage or advantage to everybody.
And the question is always, where will he merge back out on track?
Right behind Giovanni?
Yep.
So he's got some ground to make up.
And you got Dominic and Sean, and then right in front of them is Jacob. Sun setting quickly on this spring day. It's been a beautiful day in Canton, Ohio. Great day to have outdoor racing in the Endurance League.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone, in the chat. Got some roots for everyone. Squiggles, of course, going for Marshall. Saying thanks for all the tips and good luck. Got a little bit of lap traffic here. 32 Clay Cutter, yep.
Yep, correct. Sean's going to slot in and make sure he doesn't lose any ground to Dominic, and that'll keep these three in the fight.
These four have just it looks like they're like almost teasing each other. They get really close, then there's a little gap, then they get really close. Dom keeps looking for a way around, but Jacob's just not letting him have it. Gap to Rachel, about the same to Marshall, so not much has changed there.
Not yet, but we are reaching the halfway point, and look at the lap times the last for Marshall and Rachel. You've got low 39s. Marshall's in the hunt. He's not going to give up. Oh,
ooh,
Dominic's going to give a little bit of shove. Is he going to point that position back? Yeah.
Yep, he's going to let it go.
Jacob's going to have that position. That's a good move.
He'll get him. Yep. Just not that way.
He says, yeah, we'll take you out. Take this issue outdoors.
Take it outside.
Oh, is he going to look at the inside?
Nice inside
into the braking
move.
zone goes Dominic, and he's going to get to but is he going to get bumped by Jacob?
You got to be on that inside when you exit that.
Yeah,
can he hold it?
Dom is going to defend the inside line. Oh, Jacob's going to give him a little bit of a tap as they come through the carousel.
Is he going to get that one back?
Dom does not agree with that.
Yeah, Dom's like, I gave you your position back. Come on, buddy.
Yeah. But it was more of a slide sideways. They were more than half a kart length on each other.
Yeah, those are too close to call sometimes. And Giovanni in the back of that group of five.
And I keep watching Sean back there to see if he's going to get a chance to take advantage of any mistakes these guys are making. You can guarantee this time through the S's back there that Jacob's going to hold the best line he can. Again, Marshall last lap at 39.1 compared to Rachel's 39.2.
Yeah, I saw Marshall had a 39 flat there 2 laps ago.
What is the signal from Jacob on that? What was he pointing to on turn 1?
Not sure.
Let's follow that outside.
What are they?
Did he point Dom by?
Yeah,
Dom is going to come up front, but they're going to go side by side outside.
He's
Sean
take
right
it this
in the
way.
mix. Is Sean going at the inside line? He is. As they're going to go 2 by 2 through the S's.
And Giovanni making up a spot on that as well. Good move. Giovanni on the inside. Can't make any more up.
Oh, no. We're gonna
spun.
They're going to slow the field so that he gets a chance to get that spot back, because that was lap traffic. So we'll get Giovanni back up into his position. Let's get him back up there. He's kind of lost contact with that field there.
Yep, that's a bummer. Because that was Clay Cutter there that came on the outside of him.
Yeah, Clay setting an impressive qualifying time to get into the A mains tonight. But he is getting lapped by the leaders.
Yeah, he's got to let those guys around him because he's got PJ on his tail right now, too.
Yeah, let him by. Let's see if PJ has to make room on the inside. Yeah, he's battling them.
He'll make room. PJ hopefully slots right in there.
There's a train of 5.
Yep.
Boy, they're giving him.
Yep. Good. Hell, if you're a lapper and you don't move out of the way and just play nice, I know you'll get moved. But there's plenty of warning. I mean, everybody's, especially PJ, he'll give you plenty of warning, but you just got to dive off somewhere safe. There's Rachel coming up to the back of that pack, actually. So if you wait here on this camera and you see Rachel coming up here.
Wow.
So she's catching up to that pack. She ran a 39.4, though, on her last lap. So, yeah, here she is in the back of the pack. So that is our leader currently.
I'm looking to find the gap between Rachel and Marshall. I don't have a time for that gap. Keeping in mind that Rachel hasn't pitted yet, so after her pit stop, she will have to make sure she has lots of gap on the field to maintain the number 1's position. As you now have her on the 31 looking on the inside. We got lots of other lap traffic here going through the carousel. Not carousel, sorry, the outdoor. The double S's. PJ keeping his head down. He's got Dane on the number 14 right behind him. So
39 flat was that lap from Rachel with a 39.008. So 39.000 for Rachel and Marshall 38.9. So both of them in the 38.
Fastest lap of the race so far.
They must have turned their wick up a little bit on whatever.
Oh, Sean.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Well, Jacob, I think, is obviously going to give him the spot, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But obviously, Sean not happy about getting bumped through there. As they come to the carousel, they're going to go side by side. Let's follow into turn 1 back there. Let's follow him in turn 1.
This group here needs to get blue flagged because they already have the leaders behind them.
Sean and Jacob
They are
touching bumpers and making
frustrated.
friends.
They're frustrated right now.
Yes. It was probably the move that Sean put on Jacob that provoked the rebuttal there, but they're going to keep it clean through the S's this time when they round inside.
Once the leaders, so Rachel and Marshall, once they start getting into this pack here, to get them by the field and not hold the pace up so much, they're really going to need to get the lappers out of the way, because otherwise Rachel and Marshall are going to get held up in this, and that's going to really change things up. Because Rachel is the last one not to pit so far. I think her goal is to lap the field and then take a pit, but she's not going to be able to lap Marshall. So if Marshall keeps working that gap down, it's not going to work out that way.
I would assume she's going to wait till the very last minute to do her pit stop. What do you think? Because
I think you might be right.
I honestly think it would be a good strategy to do it now because of the traffic.
Yes, and where you would get put back in.
Yeah. Where is the gap to okay, there's Marshall.
38.921. So Marshall again with another fastest lap of the race.
He has definitely closed down that gap.
Yeah, and he's going to be running into the same traffic problems.
Yeah. But obviously you lose a little bit more than one lap with the pit stop.
Yep.
So with Rachel sitting at 32, Marshall down 2 laps, it's going to be interesting to see where they pan out after she makes her stop.
You know what's interesting, as fast as she got through the rest of that pack, for the gap between her and PJ to stay pretty consistent. What's PJ running right now? 39.699. She's at a 39.7, so that's why that gap hasn't closed up so much. I was wondering, she closed up really quickly on everyone else, but then PJ, the gap on PJ has been pretty consistent.
This battle for 14 between Dane and Brandon is for position as well.
As we come outside, nobody looking yet. Everybody's giving each other a little bit of space. Ooh, a lot of bumping through there, but nothing yet.
Follow them as they enter outside. Oh, Rachel, there she goes.
Pitting.
She's going to pit. All right, this is going to be critical for her. We know that she's pulled out a gap before, but Marshall was closing in, so we're going to find out what the actual gap is.
All right, so we've got, so you can see in the background here too, there's Marshall in turn 4, about to go outside. We've got 15 seconds left.
I'm actually surprised that she's that casual about her pit stop here.
Yeah. Chill.
Keeping the nerves to a minimum.
5 seconds left, and she better get moving because Marshall's coming in the doors. Let's see if she can beat him out into turn 1. This is critical here.
It's such a slow exit of pit lane speed.
Come on, there's Giovanni. And she does. She's able to gap right
in front of him.
Wow. That is timing.
Marshall has closed that gap that she built so early on. They're going to go side by side. She's on the cold tires. He's going to take the position as they round the outside. What a race.
That was awfully nice of her not to hold him up so much. If that was me coming out right in front of you, I would have been as wide as a semi-truck.
Yeah.
So there is our leader's first, second place in traffic with lap traffic.
But it was Marshall's repetitive low 39s that allowed him to split that gap or cut it down.
Yeah.
And essentially give him the lead back into the race with about 6 minutes remaining on the clock.
And you don't think about it as a racer, or even watching this, I suppose, for 20 minutes. If you guys have hung with us for the whole race, a couple tenths of a second doesn't seem like a lot of time, but over the course of 15, 20 minutes, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, that adds up really fast.
Yes, it does. So let's try to find our gap now to our third, fourth, fifth.
It's Kart 26
positions.
Of Dominic and 30 of Sean.
So Marshall in the lower left. There's Rachel. There's Clay, I believe. And now let's hold the timing line here at the start finish, and let's see where we pick up Dominic in the number 3 spot. How far back is that?
Wow.
That is a huge gap. But Dominic's pulled out a gap between him and Sean for sure.
Yeah. And running 39.7s with 7 tenths of a difference between Marshall and Dominic. There's 4 minutes left. Nah, that's not enough time. That would be impressive, but I don't think Marshall will be able to catch him.
Giovanni hanging on there in the number 6 spot.
Yeah, Giovanni's been running really good today.
He's actually right next to Jacob as they go outside.
If he can make that pass, he's got a top 5 finish. The world champion of Junior K1.
Very tidy lines through the S's there with everybody with warm tires. I would assume that track temp is probably really good. I mean, not only the lap times we're seeing, but also just the cooling down. Not quite as slippery as it was probably at the heat of the day.
Yeah,
and
too much heat's bad.
Yeah, and the night temperatures setting in. We're going to follow this battle up here with Giovanni. They're going to go through turn 4.
You think he's going to be able to close that? He's looking everywhere he can, but Jacob's driving a really good defensive line on this.
That's true. You know, some of our followers commented last week about the weight of the car, about being a disadvantage being heavy. You actually have more disadvantage being light. You can see how hard it is for him to maintain speed and keep the car underneath him, not jump it side to side.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually more of a challenge for our lighter drivers than somebody else who's a little bit more planted.
Yeah, there's advantages and disadvantages to both. I think they work themselves out. Like, I think truly to have like a weight disparity in the kart, you'd have to be 250 pounds different than someone. I think beyond that, you get a little kart hop if you're really light, but you might be a little faster, maybe 100th or so. But the handling is...
Yeah. We'll continue to watch this because both of these guys are on rails.
Yeah. If you watch lap after lap, they're on the same line. Giovanni tucked in there. Yeah, he thought about the inside for half a second, but he didn't.
Well, look at the triggered lap times. I mean, 39.875 and a 39.841, almost, for all intents and purposes, identical between the number 18 and the number 1. I'm keeping an eye out on any of our other drivers to see if there's any changes on that, but we still have, as far as we can tell, we have Rachel checked out from Dominic, and she's now battling lap traffic in front of her in the number 14 with the number 14.
Yeah, it was odd her getting passed on the outdoor part like that. As she crosses the line, running a 41.325. A little out of character, but in lap traffic, that will happen. We are just looking to see. There's Dom 26. So the closest contender to second place is right here, Dominic D'Angelo in Kart 26. And there is quite a gap between second and third. So first and second pretty well locked down, because if I'm not mistaken, here's Giovanni. Behind Giovanni, the next one through is Marshall Miller. So I could eat my hat on this because Marshall is catching up to this gap. I didn't look at him with the foot up.
Yeah, there's the foot up. Classic Marshall.
Cruising.
Trying to pass or lap the field again.
Again, yeah.
But I was looking at the last week's results, and because we had Marshall, Rachel, Dominic, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
The only change so far this week is the swap between Sean and Jacob.
Yep. And that's what I mean. I love the
1 minute to go on the clock.
Love the endurances, because especially you guys trying this out, rookies, keep coming, because the points are going to be very close. The field is pretty much stacked up the way it was before. But, you know, if someone misses a race or two, it's very quickly you can change the running order. Junior Volg says, go Dane. Checking up on Dane in 9th place, running a 41.5.
And Dominic's got a track all to himself there in 3rd position. Doesn't have anybody behind or in front for miles.
Crosses the line. We got 20 seconds to go.
So we'll keep an eye out for Marshall, who is the leader, and we'll see, is he going to make it?
He's slowing down because he wanted
white flag.
Yeah.
Nope.
He's paying attention to the flags. And there's Rachel. You know what's funny, though, is if he would have slowed up there, Rachel was hauling behind him. That could have been a really bad mistake.
Foot up and cruising in the number 35.
So, yeah, once Marshall crosses the line, we will have 1 lap to go.
Try to make sure we got the flags very clear this week.
That's right. Let's make sure we... so here's Marshall. He's coming up to the flagger, who's going to be displaying the white flag.
We got it.
All right, so...
There's Rachel in number 2. And then we'll watch for the gap back to Dominic in the 3rd spot.
That's quite a gap.
It is.
Oh,
they were just dominating with these low 39 lap times.
Yeah.
You just don't see those.
And consistently.
Absolutely.
I mean, because most of the field has been running 39s, but those guys almost a second faster in the low 39s really does make a difference.
Jacob and Sean battling it out again, and Joe Giovanni taking the short end of the stick on that one again.
Yeah, they tried to let each other by, and Giovanni was on the wrong end of that one. And checker flag goes to Marshall Miller, followed by Rachel Hart in 2nd place, and then we've got our nice gap back here to 3rd with Dominic D'Angelo, who is...
all the way back here.
Wow, we're still waiting. Okay, here he is. Dominic D'Angelo enters the building.
All right, let's keep an eye on any other battle behind him, though, just to make sure.
Right,
because we saw where Sean, Jacob, and Giovanni were battling it out.
Giovanni making one last move here. Can he?
These are the 4, 5, and 6 positions.
Nope.
That'll be the finish line for those guys as they round out 45 laps. Oh, we had some sideways action on the pit stops. Not sure what that was about.
Driver error, because if you mess up your penultimate lap, you're that's enter the pit safely and slowly, guys.
6 drivers finishing on the lead lap. Everyone else finishing with 44 and 43 down there in 7, 8, 9, and 10. go catch some interviews for us.
That's right.
Then.
All right. I'll be right back.
Time for Jason to disembark. So. Marsha Miller, dominating performance tonight. Rachel, obviously setting fast lap times as well. Checking fastest laps. Let's see. Best lap of the race for Marshall is a 38.921. Rachel, 38.960. So, yeah, 38.921, 38.960. Fastest 2 laps of the race. Next closest there was Dominic D'Angelo. Nope, I take that back. Sean, next fastest, 39.346. I stand corrected again. Jacob Ryan, 39.313. All these guys setting very low 39-second lap times. So, give us 1 second so we can get with Jason and interviews. Looks like we might get an interview with Giovanni, get some perspective on his. Well, we'll test it, Jason. Let's see. Last week we had audio out of synchronization, so we're trying to fix that. You got it? While he's doing that, I want to check on the chat here for you guys following along at home. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Sunday night. Interview Dom. All right, we'll try. We'll see what we can do. If you guys are still there, make sure you've hit the like button for us. And obviously, if you're brand new, make sure you subscribe for us. We appreciate it. PF Racing says, I'm still here. Cool. Thanks for hanging in. Yeah, we will try to interview Dom if he doesn't take off. So we'll try to get one of our workers to make sure he doesn't escape on us. He is, after all, on your podium tonight. It always takes the longest when you're waiting on something like this. I see you holding it up against the GoPro, but I don't see it yet. So I don't have video on you yet. Oh, there we go. All right, let's check with Jason.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check,
yeah, we got
check,
you, Jason. Go ahead.
Hey, wonderful. All right, I got Giovanni here. Post race, Giovanni, world champion. I guess, right? Do you go by Sir now?
I go by Downhill Burrito.
Downhill burrito. Love it. So how was that race, buddy?
Fun, interesting, and hot, even though it's night outside.
Yeah, it was like 80-some degrees today. So did you feel the track cool down as you were driving it?
No, not really.
Not really? So saw you battling it out with a few guys out there. What did you think overall track position? What could you improve? What do you want to do better?
Pit, I thought I turned on the quite, but I did not. So I lost time a lot. And that lost me position, and I was fighting with Jacob Ryan. We both had the same pace.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to figure out how to pass him. I got side by side sometimes, and I sometimes hit him, but it was just little bumps, normal for a K1.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun out there.
Yeah. Surprising, got a blister.
Really?
Yeah. The blister was kind of already there from the 12 hours, but yeah, blister.
Wow. So you're developing like racing hands now. So at 11 years old, though, battling out with all these guys and girls on track, I cannot wait to see what you do, buddy. Great race. Great talking to you, okay?
Yep.
Jason, you got Dom down there
let's
somewhere?
grab someone
or
else here.
Anybody from our podium?
Dom, we got one of the podiums here.
There's Rachel. Okay.
So I got Rachel Hart with me. How was the race?
First half was good.
We saw that.
The last 8 minutes, not so good.
What happened?
I think the top end speed on that kart was lacking because I got passed down the back straight, just flat out. And the steering was really, really loose. So you crank it all the way and it would just not grip.
And
so
no adjusting to it throughout the race, just...
do your best. That's all you got.
But the first half of the race, though, you gapped the field and 38.8, 38.9, I think we saw.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, I know I cracked under 39. I saw that, and I think Marshall bested it right at the end.
Yeah, he did. He set the fastest lap, so that's a bummer. But both you guys in the 38s for an endurance race is insanely awesome.
Outdoor track's fun. It's a nice change up from what we usually have.
Yeah, did you notice the track difference, temperature change while you were driving as the sun went down?
No, just how dark it got outside because the lights weren't on, so it got really, really dark going out. And you'd have to use that white-red barrier as your marking point to turn in.
Yeah, so anybody with a tinted visor tonight would have been screwed.
That was me.
Oh, you had a tinted visor?
Yeah, so outside during the sunlight, it was really bright. It was really nice. You come in, it looks dark, and then it reversed, so you're going out and you're cracking it up just to see.
Gotcha. A lot of bugs in your eyes then?
No,
No?
it's all right.
Yeah, cool. Well, congratulations on second, officially this time, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, and I know you and Marshall were just absolutely cruising out there. So, what was the philosophy on your pit stop? I have to know.
Thinking back to it, I should have pitted before I hit that group. But that cart was good, so my idea was if I got a really crappy cart, which I did, at least I only had to go 8 minutes instead of 25 or something.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, because when you came right back out, you were right in front of Marshall, and I was expecting you to hold him off a little bit better than you did, but...
No, I had the steering wheel locked, and he just pushed me, and it just went flat out to the outside, so I was screwed.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. We will see you in the next one, and we'll see you in more series coming up. I think we have GP next week.
Yep.
Yeah, next week GP. So we'll see you soon. Thank you. We've got the first place guy officially this time because he saw the flags.
It is officially first time as well.
Yeah.
Just
so
won it in the pits. Like
we
Michael
saw you
Schumacher.
slowing down right before the start finish line to try to catch that, last lap flag, but
Try to lose as much time as possible.
did you
'cause my
see
cart-
Rachel starting to come up behind
Yeah,
you though?
'cause my cart was dying, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to feather this. I was like, I had to make it last. I was letting off in every corner longer than normal, so. But yeah, I slowed down right there before the start finish line. And I was watching her. She hit the carousel. I was like, okay, time to go again. But yeah, that was my idea. Just try to make the cart last that last lap so it doesn't die. Die on the last lap, it'd be kind of sad.
What was your philosophy on pitting so early?
Cart was bad that I was in. It wasn't. I couldn't get enough time out of it that she was getting, so I was like, I'm gonna pit. Plus, my strategy is I either pit at the beginning of the race or the dead end. Is how I like it, because if you pit at the start of the race, and let's say you get a cart that I'm comfortable with and I can run it very well, like I was in 35, then I can either run identical times to her that I was, or I can run faster and keep going that throughout the whole entire race, and you'll build time. So when she pits, I'll be up 10 seconds or whatever. Same thing if you pit dead last. If you have a good cart, not a good cart, if you are putting down good times, 0.2 faster than second place is, and you build that throughout the whole entire race, and then finally pit,
It makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were talking about it where to an average viewer, to an average racer, 0.3 to 0.4 of a second doesn't seem like that much time, but spread out through an endurance race,
It's a lot.
it's a lot of time built up.
It'll add up.
Yeah. So you're gonna do the pro endurance series?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know how I'm going to feel about it in an hour and a half, but let's go.
Because you're already, we try telling people that watch this all the time, imagine, so you drive a 12-lap race, you guys just did 70 laps, I think?
40.
Oh, 40 laps, that's right. So 40 laps outdoor track, so 40
Exactly.
laps, yeah. So 40 laps is a long race to sustain. Is there anything that you do, like music or loosening up before you get in the cart
Just music and closing my eyes.
while you're racing?
No,
Okay.
totally. No, before I get in the car, before the race starts, even on grid, I'll listen to my music, just calm down, and then go. During the race, if I don't have to attack or defend, I'll rest my foot, my braking foot, and I won't use my brake, and I'll drive with one hand.
So
And then
that's
I'll
the
switch.
that's the foot out that we always see.
Yeah.
We always think you're just chilling and just making it seem like you're faster than everyone. I'm just chilling out here. It's really to stretch your legs out.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay,
'Cause
so you learned something
my-
new from Marshall.
Because you know how me and Armand keep our foot off the pedal
Mm-hmm.
so well? Doing that will cramp in the ankle, and that's why I rest it.
Gotcha. Okay, so a little foot stretch for you. Got it. Cool.
But
Awesome. Well, congratulations on first place. I know that you got the fastest lap of the race too, 38. So pushing your you and Marshall ran 38s. Or you and Rachel, sorry, ran 38s. Yeah, 38.8 and 38.9, I think.
well, I did get the fastest lap because
Yeah.
I saw it go purple
Yep.
that one. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do I get a point for that?
You got a point for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Got to max out on the points.
Yeah.
It's 2 points
awesome.
for a
So
fastest
congratulations, buddy. We'll see you in the next one. 2 points for the fastest lap, actually.
2 points.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Awesome. Congratulations, man. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Let's see if anybody else is out here.
I told him to send Dom down your way. They're trying to find him for you because we have requests in the chat for him.
Okay, we're looking for Dom. Dom! Dom! All right, so we've got Dom here, which was a chat request. Nice hair, love it. So how was the race, buddy?
It was great. It was tough. It was the first race of the season was definitely tough. I don't remember it being that hard to hang on to the cart. I guess my hands were on fire. This race was way better. It was way better. It's just more comfortable. Hands feel great now. They're not on fire. Outdoor track I feel like I've got it down pat, especially after that, I'm doing a little better. It was a good race. I was just making sure that Marshall and Rachel didn't lap me. That was my goal, is to not get lapped, 2 or 3 times by Marshall, and to keep Jacob behind me, most importantly, which I did pretty well. I tried. He ended up pitting after me and somehow pulled an amazing gap. Props to him. And then I knew I was faster than him. I kept catching him, bumping him. Made a beautiful pass on the outdoor. And then I got
saw that. That
pushed
was
into
awesome.
the carousel, and I was like, oh, well, that wasn't right. And then he got black flagged. So it got a little mixed up, but it ended up working out perfectly. I had a beautiful gap in front and behind me. It was really comfortable at the end of the race and finished strongly.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, buddy. We'll see you at the next one, all right?
Yeah, sure thing.
Cool. So I think that's it from the pits. I'm Jason. We'll send it back up to James, and we'll wrap everything up. Good seeing you guys.
Thank you, Jason. Like they were saying, the sun has set on the outdoor track. We got the outdoor lights up and running, but the track will go cold another day. So, as always, thanks for following along. Come on, it's okay, Drew. You can be part of the shot. It's fine. This is your cameraman here, Drew. You got your mic on. Any parting words? What did you think of the race?
The race was fantastic. I mean, between the first endurance race, I mean, it was fantastic with that B group, and then A group followed up, and I mean, there was a huge gap between Dom and second place and fourth place, so it was really exciting and really great racing for all our viewers.
It was. And so on that note, we appreciate you guys following along. We will be back next week for GP, so it won't be quite as long of a race, but we'll definitely be back for the GP format with 2 qualifiers, a final, all that good stuff. And then the Endurance Challenge will be back on the 3rd Sunday of next month. Thank you guys very much. You have a great night. We'll see you next week.